us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good morning. How you doing? It is Friday, July 25th, 2025. Welcome to episode 391 of the Thinking Theologians. We continue our journey through the scriptures. So today, we're finishing up the book of Ecclesiastes, go through chapter 9 through 12. The title of today is God Will Reveal All, Both Good and Evil. The focal scriptures in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 13 and 14, and this is what they say. It says, when all has been heard, the conclusion of the matter is this: fear God and keep his commands, because this is for all humanity. For God will bring every act to judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil. So secrets can last for a little while, but eventually the truth will be revealed. And here over the past week or so, you've seen on social media something that happened at a concert where people thought things were being hidden and it was exposed, but eventually at some point truth will be revealed. And this is true in every area of life. For instance, I know of a very wealthy person that has helped many people. They do it in silence and with no recognition. And I just happen to know by accident. Their desire is to help those who are in need, but they don't desire for anyone to know that they are involved. They give money, they give resources, they give everything, and the people who are getting the help have no idea that this person is doing things they're doing to help the people they are, and it is a significant in many ways. But they don't. But it's a secret they don't want anybody to know. They have a big heart, and they live for anonymity. And I never say this word right. Anonymity. I still said it wrong. They don't want to be known. Then I know people who have done evil and think they're getting away with it because others do not know about it currently. In a few instances, a handful of people have covered up the evil to protect themselves and even the organization. Thankfully, the evil and good that are done does not stay hidden from others forever. And so at one point, everything that is done is going to be exposed one way or the other. And we must be aware of that. The good things we've done, the bad things we've done, there are no secrets that stay secrets forever. It will be revealed, and it will be revealed in ways that we're not expecting because we can't keep secrets because this is not going to happen. Now, today's reading, it is revealed that both the good and evil actions that happen from people will be revealed. The writer even goes on to say that even the hidden actions that are good and evil will be exposed. And so, obviously, the things that people are more aware of, will be seen. But the writer's saying here that even the hidden things that no one really sees are going to be exposed and going to be revealed. The point is dramatic and clear. Nothing is hidden from the Lord, and nothing will be hidden from people. If we keep his commands, we have nothing to fear or be concerned about when our actions are revealed. If our hearts and motives are evil, we'll be called out by the Lord himself. And so, even though we're forgiven and God will forgive us and God will not hold things over us, it doesn't mean there's not consequences for our actions and for our sin. And so we need to be aware of that. Even though God may not hold it against us, there still will be consequences. It doesn't mean we're not going to be exposed. And usually being exposed is one of the biggest ways that God hands out his judgment on sin and how sin is dealt with. And so getting to the meat of it today is, so what about you today? What about me today? When your decisions and actions are revealed, will they be evil or good? How will they be categorized? Will they be evil actions or good actions? It is important to take inventory of how you think, act, and behave around others, because sometimes I think we just like it's the outward things we see, but it's also our internal thoughts, how we process people, how we process our thoughts about people and things. It's also important to take note, how you think, act, and behave when nobody is around. And so not just around others, but when nobody's around. So it's not just what's seen by others, but it's also the interpersonal things that we deal with. So our actions should be such that we don't mind if others find out about what's going on inside our hearts and minds. And so we should live in such a way that if our deepest thoughts and hearts and minds are revealed, that it doesn't cause panic or issues or stress because we're living for a holy life. Now, it doesn't mean we're perfect, because we're not, but we should be striving in such that our mind and how we deal with others is not a big deal. And so if we are exposed, we have nothing to fear. And so the challenge for us as believers is to not try and be perfect, because when we try to be perfect, you cover things up and you lie and you'll do things like that, because none of us can be perfect. We need to own our fault to own who we are. It is to live. And so the other challenge is for us to live in a way that we honor God and his commands. That's what we're told to do in this verse. Far too often we make excuses for our actions and our behaviors. Well, this happened because of this, or I was having a bad day, or this was going on, or whatever it is. And then far too often people act certain ways because they still believe it will never be exposed. Some people believe they'll never get away with things. And this is not a healthy or biblical way to lead yourself. Is that like, well, no one's ever going to find out, so it doesn't matter what I do in secret. And so it is also not a healthy way to live for Christ in the world. And so we need to live for a way that really exposes who we are, and understanding that we should always be exposed, that if God reveals all of our secrets, which he will, we have nothing to be worried about, because one day we're going to be judged by what we do. Our actions should be such that we know the Lord will be pleased. They also should be such that if we are exposed, we don't have a sense of panic. And that is the challenge I have for myself personally. Do I live in a way that I'm okay with every detail of my life being exposed? The answer right now is no. There's things I struggle with I don't want anybody to know about. Things I think, and things I go through, and things I think about people. And sometimes I'm annoyed at other processes that I don't want everybody to know and be exposed, because it's not God honoring. And so how can I adjust my life and my heart to make sure I'm following the commands of God, where I'm not doing things and thinking things and acting in ways that when it's revealed and exposed, I'm not going to have problems with. However, now that I know that I have a goal, now that I know that, I have a goal to shoot for. I have sin that must be dealt with. And so do you. So what about you? Let us live in such a way that the Lord is pleased, that we have no sense of panic or dread if others find out our innermost thoughts and deeds. Let's live different, because we're called to live different and be different. And so understand that everything you do and everything you say is going to be revealed at some point. Eventually, at the last judgment, when all of our thoughts and actions and how we do things and how we process things are going to be exposed of what's going on, but also we will be exposed publicly for what we've done. I believe that nothing we do will ever go truly hidden. If it doesn't get exposed immediately, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, like the issue and thing that I've experienced over the past year or two, there's times I want to expose things, and one day I know that whole circumstance will be exposed for the things that went on. And I know I will be vindicated in what happened and what went on, even with all the falsehoods that went on. And so I have to understand that God will reveal all. And it's not my job to take it upon myself. So thank you for being with us today. Tomorrow we will be in the book of Song of Songs. We'll read the whole book, 1-8. Then after that, we'll start the book of Isaiah for a couple weeks. So thank you for being with us today. Have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.